Okay, let's continue where we left off. So, yeah, last episode we were quite stumped because we didn't know how to proceed the main quest. We have gotten a bit of guidance after that, after the last episode, which kind of pointed us towards some of the earlier episodes and some few things to just reminding us of few things. So we'll pursue those things once after we talk to Fel, because I remember that we were
Flames shall light the way.
okay. As he's saying, flames shall light the way. Dark flame shall light the way. Okay, okay. So I don't know who made that comment. I think maybe it was Far from Grace. I can hear that she's saying, "Isn't this Fell's studio or something like that?" So
I'm
let's
gone.
talk to Fell. Uh, yeah, after talking to Fell, we'll pursue the main quest. I think last time we stopped just before talking to Fell. Fell turns to face you as you approach. He folds his arms into his sleeves and waits. Can I see what tattoos you have, Fell? Add some questions. Mort, Anna, Dacon, far from Grace. We can ask this question to any of these people. Okay. We know Mort can translate. I think Mort can translate. Mort goes. I'd sooner be strained to a tenaris balls and unravel what these floating godheads are trying to say. You want a translator? Get the fiendling chit to do it. He nods at Anna. She's a hive native. Maybe I will. Anna, can you translate for me? Anna paused for a moment. She looked stoned. I can. Hmm. This is interesting because, Nameless One, because of his, I guess it's because of his intelligence. I presume it's because of his intelligence, high intelligence, that uh, he can talk to Davos directly. He does not need a translator. But seems Anna can translate. We know that Dakon can translate. And last time we were here, we talked to Fel both directly and through Dakon, just to see what Dakon's interpretation of Davis's the Fel's words were. This time we have the option to choose Anna, as well as maybe Far from Grace. We're not sure. Far from Grace is a very educated woman, right? So she probably knows how to speak to a Davos. Never mind, just read this. Okay, will you? Anna shakes her head. Nay, I'm not about to walk with Tia in the lady's shadow, so I'm not. Okay, she can translate, but she won't because she's scared of lady, and we know that Fell is kind of being targeted by lady, even though he's being ignored now. He's in he's in her sights, so she's too scared. We know that she's scared and like kind of has these reservations about lady and anything. She's a very kind of superstitious individual who believes all the stories floating around in hive. She's been brought up like she grew up here, right? So she has kind of that nature, and she's scared of the lady. See, I'll just try and speak with him myself. Dakon, can you translate for me? Dakon notes. Okay, Dakon can ask all of these questions. Tell me tattoos. Ask him if the tattoos on this dismembered arm. Ask him if he's heard of Ravel. Interesting. He mentioned that he'd met me before. Does he know how I died? What are the flames in the back room, Phil? I feel like I know you, Phil. Ask him what this place. Okay. Never mind, farewell. Let's talk to him again. See if Far from Grace can translate. Far from Grace notes. Yes, of course. Okay. Yeah, of course, she's intelligent and educated enough to do this. Ask him what this place is. A slow train of symbols materialize around Fell's head. The symbols take several moments to resolve, starting with simple lines, then fleshing themselves into breathtaking colors. This is where I tattoo color and life upon flesh and bone. What did he say, Grace? Grace waits patiently for the symbols to resolve. This is studio. He inscribed tattoos upon the skin of others here. Grace turns to you and smiles. She seemed to be feeding off Fell's presence. Fell is known throughout Brazil as a talented artist. The flesh of others is his canvas. Hmm. Can I see what that is? Okay. I had another question I want to ask him. What are those frames in the back? Oh, it's frames, not flames. Sorry. What are those frames in the back room, Fell? Uh, okay. A caravan train of symbols slowly materialize around Fell, one by one. It's my gallery. Your discarded skins are my canvas. I admire you. I'm saddened for you. Okay. So all of these are our skins. My God. What did he say, Grace? Grace should also be shocked. Grace should be shocked by this fact. Let's see how Grace reacts. Grace seems mesmerized by the skin-stretched frames around you, but she managed to turn away to translate symbols. This is gallery. Her voice is reverent, respectful. He says that you are his canvas, that he both admires you and is saddened for you. Saddened for me? Another caravan of symbols form around Fell, this time forming a circle. The mark of torment lies upon your flesh. Tragedies and loss have built themselves upon it, like stones upon a foundation. You endured great pain. What did he say, Grace? He says that the mark of torment is upon your flesh. The tragedies and loss have built upon it, like stones upon a foundation. He says you have endured much pain. What does he mean? A long string of rebusses appear over Fell's head, then surrounds his arms like manacles. I admire you because you have never surrendered to the weight of these losses, despite the fact their chains hang on you still. What did he say, Grace? Grace nods slightly, almost unconsciously, as she continues to translate. Pell says he admires you because you have not surrendered to your loss, despite the fact that the chains of loss still hang upon you. Grace turns to you. He admires your strength. She is completely unfazed, or she is completely captivated by Fell to the degree that she's not faced by the facts or like uh, she's completely she's not affected by the facts about us that he's saying. Ask him to go on. A long string of rebusses appear above Fell's head, then falls, covering him like a cloak. These losses blanket this life and all of your past ones. You shed lives like a mottling serpent. You are exploring the infinite paths of life. What did he say, Grace? Fell says these losses you have endured cover this life and all your past lives. Grace's voice drops and her eyes gleam as if fascinated. He says you shed lives like a mottling serpent and that you are experiencing all lives that are possible for a man. Is she fascinated by Fell's like ability or knowledge, or is she fascinated about the facts or like the information that's provided here? It's difficult to glean that. Does he say anything else? A long string of rebels appear over Fell's head, then fall suddenly to the floor, streaming out behind him like a shadow. Take with you this warning. Each of your lives cast a shadow on existence. You must travel to a place where these shadows have gone mad and regrets have scarred the earth. What did he say? Fell wishes to warn you that Grace studies the next series of symbols. He wishes to warn you that each of your lives cast a shadow on existence. He says you will travel to a place where the shadows have gone mad and regrets have scarred the earth. I see. Does he say anything else? A brief series of paper thin rebusses appear in an orderly row next to Fell, then vanish into glowing modes. Do not sign anything. Have we signed anything so far? God damn it. What did he say, Grace? Fell says that you should not sign anything. Like we should not put our name anywhere. Is that again the concept of names being relevant and staying nameless coming up? Is that it? Grace raises an eyebrow. He does not say why. Very well. Another series of rebusses appear, forming a spiral. They have the texture of a question about them. Do you feel complete? What did he say, Grace? Fell asks if you feel whole, if you feel incomplete somehow. Truth, I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up in the mortuary, I feel like something's missing, something inside. Okay. Fell notes and a series of symbols materials in a halo around him. You are strong. Keep faith, and you shall become whole again. Okay. We have been made aware multiple times, or it has been suggested to us multiple times that our soul or the thing that makes us mortal has been stolen away or is not present with us at the moment, which also is entangled with Ravel's story about how she stole our immortality. I don't know who suggested that for the first time though. It's all a soup at this point. Where we got information at first, because we know there's certain facts or like certain beliefs that we have about our past, but where it was first introduced to us is kind of gone from my mind. I'll try. I had another question I want to ask him. I feel like I know you, Fell. Fell bows reverently and a stream of symbols swirl, rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise. It takes you a moment to translate. This is the first time, and not the first time you come to this place. Okay, again, cryptic ramblings by these people. What if? What did he say, Grace? Grace studies symbols intently, then turns to you, giving a strange look. Fell says this is the first time you come to him, but it is not the first time. Grace gives you an uprising look. Perhaps he remembers you before you were. She suddenly realizes what she said and she laughs lightly. My apologies. I never thought I would have to use multiple U's when addressing anyone. Uh, Perhaps he remembers you before you were you. Oh, before you were you. Okay. Does he know who I am? And a series of symbols materialize. Fell's head. Translation comes to you just as quickly and sharply as the symbols themselves, and as if you have translated the exact same string many times before. Yes, but I'm not permitted to tell your story. God damn it, people. What did he say, Grace? Grace frowns and she puts her head to her chin in thought. Fell says he knows you. Then he says, and this is odd, he's not permitted to tell your story. Not permitted? Why not? For a moment there is no response from Fell. Then a stream of rebusses appear as if trickling out of Fell's mind. My apologies. I cannot. I cannot change the nature of a man. Hmm. You cannot even like as early as Fell, we had uh we had a reference to this nature of man. You can't explain why, but the last sentence sends a crawling sensation through your skull. Okay. What do you say, Grace? He apologizes, but he cannot say. Grace turns to you, meeting your gaze. What he says next is strange. He says that he cannot change the nature of a man. As Grace repeats these words, you feel a terrible pressure inside your skull. It builds like pounding hammers until you think your skull will burst, then dissipates into echoes as she speaks the last words. I had another question I want to ask him. What are those frames in the back room? Uh, it's my gallery. Your discard skins are my canvas. I admire you. I'm saddened for you. Okay, we already talked about this. He mentioned that he had met me before. Does he know how I died? Uh, Fell does not respond for a moment, then slowly, menacingly, three symbols materialize above his head, each of them casting a long shadow. Shadows. What do you say, Grace? Grace frowns. Fell says shadows. Shadows? The three symbols swirl about each other, each leaving a faint, black, misty trail about them. They take on a ragged edge, like teeth and talons, and multiply. Where there were three, there is nine. Nine becomes 27, until the room is a swarm of shadows. Many shadows. They streamed from the darkness, swarmed you, then left you to die. Okay. Three shadows at first. And we also know, I don't know if this is related, but we know that long ago, Daenerys has suggested that, not long ago, I guess we visited her just earlier, but she also suggested that we will face three enemies. I think enemies was a term she used, but yeah, we'll face three opponents. None of them more stronger than like our past self in full glory. But yeah, the number three, and each of them twisted by the laws of the plane. No, each of them are belong to either good, um evil, and neutral, I guess. But they're also twisted by their alignment, lawful or chaotic. What did he say, Grace? Grace frowns. Fell says that many shadows came for you, ambushed you, and left your body in their wake. She glances at the symbols again. He doesn't know why they attacked you. And another question I want to ask him. Ask him if he's heard of Ravel. Hmm. There's a long moment of visual silence. It drags out so long that at first you wonder if Fell heard you. Then a few symbols, strangely grey colored, appear sluggishly over his head. She's not a myth. What do you say, Grace? Fell says she's no myth. Does he know where she is? A series of grey symbols swirl about Fell's head like a slow-moving whirlpool, then flatten themselves into a bizarre twisting pattern. She is in one of the ladies' mazes. What do you say, Grace? Grace's voice becomes somber as she reads the symbols. Fell says Ravel lies within one of the ladies' mazes. Mazes? Uh, march out like a train of slaves carrying a heavy load. Her will was not the will of lady. Ravel was punished. Ravel was imprisoned in a maze. Grace's voice becomes somber as she reads. Well says that Ravel's will was not lady's will, so she was punished. Ravel was placed in one of the ladies' mazes. Grace turns to you. Are you familiar with mazes? Not really, if you could explain. Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle. The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of sigil. You watch in surprise as ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into air, curling into small circles and make a maze. Okay. So did Dakon do this last time? I wonder because I remember having read a scene like this. Go on. The small ghastly circle floats in the air, then begins slowly rotating. The piece of sigil that she takes hold takes holds the prisoner. There is no escaping being mazed. It can happen at any time while walking down the street through a door. She clasps her hands. She claps her hands, and then you are somewhere else. Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside. Go on. Grace continues, the tiny ghost maze reflected in her eyes. It is said there is a portal that leads out of each maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left in there to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps perhaps they are left in there to torture the prisoner. Ghostly matter dissolves. Perhaps it is both. Hope and torture. I mean, hope is torture. Why did Ravel get placed in a maze? Okay. White oval appears beside Fell, then sharp crack appears in it. Instinctively, you recognize the oval as symbol of the city sigil itself. She sought to open the cage. Grace studies the symbol carefully. Fell says that Ravel attempted to open the cage. Grace turns to you. The cage is another name for sigil. Grace frowns in thought. I have no idea why she would try to do such a thing. It could be that Ravel tried to breach sigil's walls. Hmm. And maybe it's that incident that brought the siege tower into sigil, because siege tower is used to do such things, right? Break open the barriers between planes so that armies can invade easily. Does he know how to reach her? Another stream of ribosses trail out from Fell, but these float lower, as if they are carrying a heavy weight. Ribosses trail out from Fell. I do not know how she might be found. She should not be found. She's in lady's keeping. There is a hard edge to the texture of symbols in the last sentence, reminding you of dagger blades. What do you say, Grace? Fell doesn't know how she could be found. He wants us not to look for her because Grace studies the last sections of symbols. Fell says Ravel is in lady's keeping. What else does he know about Ravel? A white owl appears. He showed. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably Ravel who breached sigil long ago and brought all the demons from lower planes. Maybe it's using the siege tower it was done, but then she was mazed and siege tower got stuck here. And now Cox Metal is just waiting for a day when entropy can return, or like crafting weapons for, you know, bringing chaos back once Ravel is somehow back. Maybe that could be it. I had another question I want to ask him. Before we can change the subject, a new series of symbols appear around Fell. The structure is that of an X. They pulse like a weak heartbeat. Do not seek her out. Within her beats an evil heart. She will do everything in her power to hurt you. Okay. What did he say, Grace? Grace studies the symbols and she frowns. Fell wants us not to look for Ravel. He says that she has a black heart and that if she leaves, she will seek to hurt you and us. I'll keep that in mind. I had another question. It will be like really funny if I don't know if every NPC can be killed. I feel like they can be, which kind of makes me wonder how we will even proceed some quest if we just end up killing some really important NPCs. Like maybe if we kill Kesai Series long ago, how do we even progress the story? Like, will we just get stuck? Because I'm thinking like when we reach Ravel, like if we just go straight to her and like try to kill her, he'll probably like do some magic and it won't be allowed to happen. But it'd be interesting to see if we can just immediately kill her without even hearing any explanation from her. She seems to be a very evil person, and it seems like she's in an irredeemable state. But maybe she can convince her that She was not just purely evil. But that is the nature of this planescape, right? Things can be purely evil and it's just fine. They just exist in their own little corner of the planescape and they're all fine with each other. So, yeah. I'll keep that in mind. I had another question I want to ask him. Dismembered arm. I think we've asked these questions. Can you tell anything about the tattoos on my body? Well, studies your body for a moment, walking around you. He mirrors each symbol as he examines it, then returns to face you. I know them. None are by my hand. What say, Grace? Fell says he's not. He did not inscribe those tattoos. Grace thinks for a moment. He might be able to tell you some of them if you wish. Very well. What can you tell me about them? Fell notes symbols appearing around him like fireflies. The ones upon your back were scribed with a careful hand, and are the directions for a mind that forgets itself. The symbol that lies upon your left shoulder is a mark of torment. Okay. I wonder what this symbol of torment is. Is it the symbol that I don't know? We have a weapon that is crafted by Cox Metal, which is a prominent symbol because that's a symbol we use in the map screen to denote where we are. Uh, Other than that, we have the Lady of Sigils. Sorry, yeah, Lady of Pains symbol in the main menu screen when we start the game. And I don't know what the symbol of torment is. Wish we can zoom in and examine that closer. And also in the backside we have direction scribed. So like if our previous incarnation was to scribe it in the back of our body, there are a couple of implications to that. Like first of all, he must have been in a different body when we did that, right? He must have been in a different body, or he must have like used the skin of a different body and then patched it up again, because it has to be inscribed on the back, right? And we can't, unless we ask someone else for help, we can't really do that. And also this would mean that since it's not in our forearm or in our chest, on our chest, it kind of means that we have to use someone else to translate it for us. And this seems like such a uh, this is a personal request from our previous incarnation to ourselves, right? But the only way we can uh, read that is with someone else's help, like someone else like Mort's help. So why was that made that way? Why wasn't it in our on our forearm so that when we wake up we immediately know what's happening? Right now, the only way is that we have to recruit someone and bring them into our confidence uh, before we know what's happening with us, because that's written on our back, right? So that's also interesting. Why did he say what did he say, Grace? Well says the ones along your back are the directions for a mind that forgets itself, inscribed with a careful hand. Okay, what symbol is that? Grace says softly, Torment. She studies the symbol, then turns away as if looking at it is looking at is looking at it is painful. Fell says she takes a breath. But the flesh knows it suffers, even when the mind forgets. She looks up and meets your gaze, and her eyes are a strange shade of azure. Azure. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Azure means blue, right? A shade that speaks of sadness and tears. Fell says that the rune acts like a lodestone, drawing other tormented souls to you. Are all of these tormented souls? Do you think all the party members are tormented? We know that Ignis is somewhat tormented, even though views it as pleasure, or like definitely not as torment for him, I guess. Dacon is also tormented in a sense. Fall from Grace literally calls herself Fall from Grace. So she is some version of a torment is happening within her. Diana is too reluctant to agree that she's being tormented, but she probably is due to some deep-seated issue. I don't know. And another question I want, and Mort obviously want to redeem himself, or like want to do right by Nameless One, because he was the one who ended up killing him in the first place, I guess, and kind of played a part in him becoming in this becoming in this state. Fell says that Fell says that the rune acts like a lodestone, drawing other tormented souls to you. And another question I want to ask him. Ask if he did the tattoos on this dismembered arm I found. Fell examines it for a moment, tracing the patterns with his fingers. Then he looks up and a series of crevices form, hazy at first, then come sharply into focus. The arm is yours, the tattoos are mine. One tattoo speaks of a time when your path was shared by four others. Okay. Tattoos are mine. So this is one set of tattoos that he created on an arm of ours. But every other tattoo on our body was not inscribed by him. What did he say, Grace? Grace reads the symbols as they materialize. Fell says the arm is indeed yours. The tattoos are his work. She pauses as she studies the last section. He says that one tattoo tells of a time when you shared your path with four others. Four others? Symbols. The symbols swirl before you, and you piece them together. One unloved who loves, one who does not love. One unloved who loves, one who does not love. So maybe this is Dianara. I don't know. Because Dianara was unloved, right? At least not by nameless one. And he loved, and she loved us, who is presumably someone who does not love. One who does not see what others see, and sees. One who does not see what others see, and sees what others do not. Okay, I don't know who this could be. One who is familiar and bound with duty. One who is slave, and his chains are words. One who is familiar and bound with duty. Maybe that is Dakon, I don't know. But do you remember long ago in when we were talking to Candrian, or when we were talking to that really curious fellow named O, O or Zero? I think it's O. Yeah, back in Smoldering Corpse Bar. I think it was O who suggested that somewhere in someone in the Smoldering Corpse Bar was very close to us earlier. So he probably referred to he's probably referring to Ignis when he mentioned that, I guess. Not Dakon. Dakon is new to us. One who is a slave and his chains are words. Could this be Ignis? I don't know. As you finish translating, the four strings seem to form themselves into links and they merge into a chain. The chain bends until it's a symbol you feel you recognize. What do you say? Erase reads and translates. The mind of the four are written upon the tattoo. One who loved, unrequited, one who loved unrequited love, one who is blind but sees still, one familiar, I think, and the last, a slave whose chains are his words. Someone who is chained by his own words. Grace falls silent as the four symbols form themselves into links, then into a chain. What is that symbol? The symbols sharpen, gaining edges that are almost painful to your eyes. It is torment. It is that which draws all tormented souls to you. Fell notes at your left arm, at your shoulder. The flesh knows it suffers even when the mind is forgotten. And so you wear the rune always. Okay. What tattoos he has? Uh yeah, I mean, I don't know when or where we are going to spend our gold. So that's kind of iffy. And we can't steal tattoos either, apparently. Because presumably he is just inscribing it on our body, right? So yeah, we can't really steal it since it's not an item. Okay, so we had our talk with Fel. He's also warning us not to contact or look for Ravel. I think one more thing we should do before we head back and try to solve some of our main quests is to visit that uh, curious fellow in the Alley of Dangerous Angles. There's a person there worshipping a god called uh, Eoskar. I think Eoskar was the name of the god. There's a fellow there worshipping that god. So let's go visit him, see if he has anything new to say. Alley of Dangerous Angles.
All right.
It's such a broken down temple. Probably lady had something to do with it. Oh, and you remember this box? We never got to open it. Jesus, it's been so long. We've never opened this
Thanks, Will.
box. Okay, Anna can just casually just open it. God damn it. That's the charm of infinite recall. Alright, we have 8 of those charms already. Pixel hunting to just get the question mark. Okay. This old singed building looks as if it might have once been a temple. So Ignis, do you remember any of the spots here? It's probably you who did all this, right? Ignis? Ignis is very dejected. He's like, look at him. His head is, yeah, he's looking down. He's guilty. He's sad. Alright, let's go in. You have anything more? May I ask our grandiose safe passage? How may I help you? I'd like to purchase that gem you took from Morador Smokes. Tell me more about Eoskar. Why are there no other disciples of Eoskar? I'm interested in becoming a disciple of Eoskar. Hmm. What is this thing? Luckily for you, I haven't had the time to sell it yet. I'll let you have it for the bargain price of 300 coppers. Hmm. How about 100 coppers? I don't know what it is, but I like you. I'll let you have the gem for 200 coppers. 200 and not a copper less. What do you say? I don't even remember what purpose this gem had, but let's just take it. May Askar, the god of portals, doors, and opportunities, smile upon you. Well, let's look at the inventory. See, Morador's ruby. This is a fairly large ruby recovered from Morador's bow. Gems of this quality are valued by practitioners of the art as a component of various spells. So we can probably sell it for higher amount, I guess, somewhere in some shop. Okay, there isn't any new options. I guess we have the option to become a disciple of Ayaskar. I have no idea. Wait, what? Dude, I just want to. Ah, damn it. Alright. We'll visit him later. Maybe at some point when we have
All
more
right.
context on who Ayaskar is in this history is and what Lady did to him. Maybe we'll come back and join the cult of Ayaskar. Just to piss off Lady. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Is there anything else we want to do here? If not, we'll just try and pursue the main quest. So, like I said, I've gotten some guidance on how to maybe uh, unlock the main quest. So one thing is, so if we check our journal, right? Where is our journal? Finam's book. Come on. Yeah, this is our journal. Sorry, I was looking for a book-like thing, but obviously our journal is a dodecahedron contraption. So let's just try to use it. And one interesting thing is, read about some paranoid ranting. I think this is the one. Oh wait, no, this is not the one. Whispering shadows, female ghosts, paranoid ranting, accursed tattoos, danger of names. Yeah, read a cryptic answer from an unknown source. Okay. So Ghastly Heads said, "You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men. You bear many names. Each has left the scars upon your flesh." Oh wait, not this one. Okay, I cannot for the life of me find. Okay, let's try to find, because there was a, you remember the like me mentioning that there was a code somewhere in this journal, and we just could not place our hand on it later. So it's one of these things. Yeah, this is the 11th option. Read something about a legacy. So we read this. Legacy, the note read, forget not to collect your legacy. And a small code scratched beside it, 51 AA. A trap, no doubt, set by yet another of my false selves. I'll see it destroyed, I will. Okay. So this legacy, 51AA, we tried to visit, we read this journal back in Yanis's home, if you remember. We were inside the advocate's home, and we already collected a legacy, quote unquote legacy from Yanis, which Deonara left for us. And it was right after that, I think, like almost at that point, we read the Dodecahedron journal. No, I think we collected legacy earlier. Anyway, we read the Dodecahedron journal when we were inside Yanis's home. And the thing is, I immediately connected this number with maybe the vault of the ninth world, where we would have left a legacy for us. But obviously, the advocate is the one who is usually dealing with the legacy, right? So he probably has a legacy if we give this legacy reference number for him. So we'll visit him now and try to collect this legacy. So that's our first task today. How do we get out of this place? Okay, we can't go out this way. That's so weird. Ah, we can go here. Come on. Alright, let's go to Clerk's Ward.
Done.
Head to Yanis's home. I wonder who this woman was. This is someone called Diligence.
I'm gone.
I think she doesn't talk to us much. Okay. Greetings, Yanis. You see Yanis, he turns as you enter and affixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes, and he looks at you as if he has not been sleeping. By the way, he would have visited private sensorium by now, I think. So he must have seen the memory. You again, Yanis frowns slightly as he stares at you. What did you want this time? Who are you? Please advocate. Tell me about the fire, daughter. We need to talk about a legacy though. Who are you? I mentioned before, I'm Yanis. Was there something you needed? My apologies, you mentioned that before. Perhaps you can help me with something else? What is his place? I'm an advocate. There are officers, council. An advocate helps others navigate labyrinths of sigil's legal system, arranges legacies for citizens to ensure that their property is divided as they choose upon death, defends those in sigil's courts who have been wrongly accused, he poses. Did you need help in any of these areas? Yeah, actually, I believe you have a legacy for me. Indeed, very well. Do you remember the legacy in question? The legacy is number 51A, I believe. He looks at you in surprise as you name the legacy. That is extremely old. Are you certain? A shocked look comes upon his face. I hope that wasn't one of the ones that was burned. Oh god. Oh, okay. The fire is probably unrelated to Dianara's legacy. Dianara's legacy, obviously, we were able to regain. But it did happen around the time of Dianara's death, I think. So, did the very last incarnation we had, who created the Dodecagon journal, did he come here and burn the legacy that was left by our even like earlier incarnation? Maybe that's what happened. How old is it? Can you check and see if legacy still exists? Burned. How old is it? Well, Yanis ponders for a moment. Several decades at least. You said it might have been burned. What do you mean? Yanis looks saddened. Yes, this office was a target of a senseless act of vandalism. A year ago, we had a break-in here at the office. The vandal's sole desire seemed to be to burn my legal documentation. Much was lost. A shame, really. Sigil can be quite wearing uh, on a person's faith. He seems to lose an inch as he mentions sigil. The vandal only damaged certain documents, irreplaceable. Can you check and see if the legacy still exists? He nods quickly. Oh, yes, of course, it'll take a moment. Very well, I'll wait. Yanis returns, nodding. Yes, fortunately, it was unharmed by the fire. All the articles are safe. God, nice. Could I collect it? Could I collect on it? I am the beneficiary. 8000 XP. Of course, sign here and on the dotted line. There and there. All right. We shouldn't sign anywhere. We just we just we just came from Fell where he had this very cryptic specific warning that we shouldn't sign anywhere. There is no other option to. Oh god damn it. All right, you got my name. This probably maybe a huge coincidence, by the way. I feel like maybe the signing was not like the warning from Fell probably wasn't intended for this instance, but accidentally we just ended up talking to Yanis right after talking to him. There we are. That should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one to be sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? Yeah, he did have something commissioned at the foundry. It was called a dream builder. I don't really know. Perhaps. I'm beginning to think just about anything is possible. Where is the foundry? Yeah, nice question. Nameless one.
Updated my journal.
You got three items. It's located in the lower ward. It's past a great gate. Look for a number of guardsmen guards at the gate, and you should be in the right place. Very well. Perhaps there's something else you can help me with? Every time it's not that I can help you with something, it's that you can help me with something. That's a predominant question or response that nameless one has after exhausting a dialogue tree. Uh, did you go to private sensorium, mate, to see your daughter? Uh, okay, it seems like we can't really.
Learn some new tricks.
Okay, why did Anna level up though? We say something. We say some lies. Of course not. 5 hit points, 1 hit point from Constitution bonus. Spell -2. All right. Free league. She's level 7. Great. Level 7's 8, 7, 7, 8, and 10. Awesome. We'll be level 11 soon, I think. Alright, now let's head to. Wait, let's examine the items. Let's maybe stand in this corner and examine the items. Strange chunk of rock. Oh god, there's so much to read. Stone Gullet of Raphael the Gross. Unique artifact. Special. Permanent +1 to save versus poison. Permanent 15% resistance to acid. Weight 3. Gurgling Stone Gullet of Raphael the Gross is not as well known as most artifacts tend to be. No wars have been waged over it. No betrayals. No epic journeys into the underworld. Only a few moralizing sorcerers, a fat man, and his stomach. As the legend goes, Raphael the Gross was said to have been a promising practitioner of the art, a sorcerer's apprentice to one of the last seers of Essenon. Oh, we know the city. Despite his skill at the art, however, his gluttony was the subject of much ridicule among his peers. During the last great massing of Essenon, Raphael was invited to dine at the center table. But unknown to him, his peers had filled his wine goblet with an elixir of turning flesh to stone to teach the rotten student a lesson. Lafal consumed such great amounts of food and drink during the mass, however, that it diluted the poison's effects. Complaining of a stomachache hours after the feast, the local healers discovered that Lafal's stomach had turned into stone, yet was still capable of digesting food. Lafal lived the rest of his days happily eating, though his gullet was few pounds heavier than before. When he finally died, his stomach was removed as an oddity, and since then it has wandered the plains in search of new stomachs. What? Ugh. His stomach was removed, and then it wandered the plains in search of new stomachs. To use the artifacts, one must consume it. It has the consistency of stale bread. Isn't it stone? Isn't it like hard? But it's like stale bread. So into doing will turn the eater's stomach into the stone gullet. Devouring the stone gullet of Lafal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock and slight resistance to stomach acid. Devouring the stone gullet of Lafal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock and slight resistance to stomach acid. Hmm. +1 to save versus poison, resistance to acid. Okay, it's a very unique item with not too much of a benefit, I would assume. Resistance to acid. I don't know when we have been acidified. No, I'm not acidified. When we have been tossed in acid so far. Maybe some of the enemies did do that. And then there is something against poison. So this is very specific. There's a kaleidoscope gem and a receipt. Okay. Kaleidoscopic eye. Chromatic orb when held. Invokes chromatic orb when held. Equipped. Special equipped. Okay. +1 to all saving throws. +1 to save as a spell. 5% resistance to magic. Okay. So this is more generic. So we might just be useful if we can just slot it in as our eye. We have an angleless eye with us here, right? Usable only by good creatures. We can't use this. Ooh. The shimmering. Okay, I think maybe we can give it to Mort, but I don't think Mort has an option to replace his eyeball. But it says good creatures. This is very weird. Maybe the robot that we might eventually recruit. Not robot. The mechanical being that presumably we will recruit at some point. Maybe he can use this. This shimmering jewel is actually the corpse of a radiant spirit from the upper plane of Elysium. When these creatures pass away, they leave their shimmering husks behind. These husks are often mistaken for jewels or for semi-precious stones. Their essence is still that of harmony and goodness. and they can only be employed by a creature whose heart is filled with good intentions. Kaleidoscopic Eye can either be wielded in hand or placed in an empty eye socket, depending on whether its owner wishes to use it for defense or offense. Oh, so it's a multi-purpose thing. So anyone could be using the mod could be holding it in his quick items and then using it. Chromatic or this spell could be used by mod. Sorry, where is it? For defense or offense, when held, the user may summon its power to harness ambient light, twist it, then turn it against his enemies. When placed in owner's eye socket, the eye grafts itself to wear a skull and helps shield its new owner. It absorbs a portion of the energies from incoming attacks and provides proof against all manner of magical attacks. When kaleidoscopic eye's offensive power is exhausted, it cracks and turns to dust. Oh, okay. So if we keep using it as a usable item, at some point it's just going to wither away. But if we use it as an eye, then we can keep on using it, I guess. We can't use it because we are not good. And if we give it to Mort,
If you want to give me something, why don't you give me, if you want to give me something,
yeah.
Why don't you give me, I don't know.
Oh. Sorry, I think our game crashed, so that's unfortunate. I don't even remember when I saved last time. That'd be quite bad. Okay, let me see. Okay, we are back at the advocate's house. I think it's saved right after we got the items, maybe? Okay, we got the items. We just need to read them. Yeah, seems even more can't equip it.
I don't want that.
Yeah, we can't.
If you want to give me something, why don't you give me, I don't know.
Okay.
Grace's bodice.
Receipt. Godsman's receipt. A receipt stamped with the symbol of Godsman, probably redeemable at the Great Foundry. So what can we redeem this for? Let's take it to the Great Foundry. So that's the second part of our quest. Like the another hint that I got was that there is something in Foundry that we had forgotten to do, or some requests from someone in the Foundry that we are yet to do. Let's just ignore this shadow. Yeah. So what do you think is in Foundry that we have ignored? We know that we have to build the Dream Builder. Other than that, do we have any pending quests in Foundry? Can't really think of any. So we'll and for the the Dream Builder quest, we need a pillow, right? We need a coffin pillow. So we don't really know. Let's talk to this gentleman here. This is probably the clerk's office, right? So maybe we can redeem our receipt here. You mentioned having seen me. I'm here to pick up an item. Okay. Do you have a receipt? You need a receipt or I can't give you anything. Yes, I do. The old man takes the receipt from you and scrutinizes it carefully. This thing's over 100 years old. How do you come by it? It was a hand-me-down. It was a legacy. 40,000 XP. Oh god. I see. Quite a cash you made. Here you go, lad. Treat this metal well here. Sure thing. Farewell.
Experience has increased my skills.
Okay. So I guess everyone, like, it makes sense. Like everyone's sharing the 4,000, like 40,000 XP that we got. So everyone gets 40,000 XP. But maybe it's just, I don't know, we get more than 40,000. Not sure. I felt like we already saw 59,000 last time. I already checked the recording to see, and the 40,000 didn't really affect it. I don't know. Yeah. So what do we get? We got curious ironwork. This is a shimmering piece of filigreed metalwork that you picked up in the Great Foundry. It looks almost gauzy. Sharp edges protrude from it. You have no idea what to do with it right now, but it must be important if you left it behind for yourself. Okay. How do you like to identify scroll or spell? We don't have either equipped at the moment. So let's just quickly go to Keldor. I think maybe he has an identify. If he has, we'll just pay some little bit of money to get it identified quickly. Hello, Keldor. Purchase some items. Identify. Curious animal. This is 80 gold. Let's just get it identified. Usable only by nameless one. This is a shimmering piece of filigree metalwork that you picked up in the Great Foundry. It looks almost gauzy. Sharp edges protrude from it. You have no idea where it goes right now, but it must be important if you left. Okay. All you need to do is act. All you need to do. All you need to do to activate it is find the proper key. Hmm. Really? Use. You unfold the shimmering metal, and immediately it begins crackling with life. You unfold the shimmering metal, and immediately it begins crackling with life. It begins forming itself into a metallic circle, hovering in the air. There is something in your possession that has activated this portal. You get the feeling that you probably ought to make sure you have everything you need. You might not be back in Sigil for a long time. Fold it up and put it away. So apparently that's probably the portal to Ravel, and apparently we had it commissioned by the foundry long ago. So all this time we were assuming, or I was assuming that maybe it's this door, which is kind of weird to imagine, right? Like this door, this like really prominent door right here is somehow the portal to Ravel's maze. And we've been like multiple times we have been made aware that a portal and a key can be anywhere. Anything that can be framed can be a portal. And a key can be literally anything that we can imagine. Any idea, thought, action could be a key. And currently I guess the key is our key is not in our hand actually. Where is it? Damn, where is a handkerchief by the way? We had a soaked, blood-soaked handkerchief, right? Am I missing it? Ah, here it is, bloody handkerchief. I had it equipped earlier just to get get maybe a portal to open somewhere in the foundry. But apparently it's this item, unfolding portal. It's a shimmering, all you need to activate it is find the proper key. Okay, so we can progress with our main quest using this portal key. Right, this portal and the key. We have both the items now. Let's just I still wish to finish the quest in Brothel's lighting in Lus, and it's been made aware to me that like we have all the info required to finish it, but we're just not looking at it the right way. So that's an issue. Guys, I don't know what to. So if you search for Nenni, right? Nenni is the one who has given us all the information needed. Nenni, yeah. So here Nenni has given a couple of very pointed answers. Nenni told me that she saw Kimaxi Adatang sneaking out of Marisa's chambers. Perhaps she took Marisa's Crimson Veil, or at least has some clue as to where it might be. We tried to ask Kimaxi about this, but obviously she was not responding. Or like she was giving a dismissive answer and we couldn't pursue it further. Same thing with Vivian's scent. It says that Marisa was sneaking out of Vivian's chambers with her scent. Perhaps she took Vivian's scent, or at least has some clue as to where it might be found. And we were like trying to ask Marisa about this, but it seems that's not triggering a response. So there is some probably obvious thing that I'm just like glossing over. And I can't really find it out right now. I would wish to finish this before going into the portal, but seems that's probably not going to work out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna visit the lower ward market and sell off all the junk items we have. Okay, before heading in.
Done.
Since we are playing on normal and like we'll like try to be cautious. I think we'll be able to handle ourselves in combat, hopefully. So we won't need to resupply on that end, I presume. So let's talk to all of these people because they only accept certain items, right? Stone gullet of Lafal the Gloss. We can just immediately sell it for 4,000 commons, which is better than most other things. Like better than its normal use, right? I feel like it's better than its normal use. It's just a 4,000 gold item. What else? Codex of the Inconceivable. Let's sell this off. We bought it for 1,500 or 1,000, selling it for 600. Scroll of blindness. We don't need that. Sell. Oh, okay. He's not accepting any of this. Leather apron, forge, tongs. I don't think we need any of these items anymore. Sell those off. Tacon has a bunch of scrolls that he can learn. We'll hold off on that. Anna has a bunch of charms. It's also fine. Charm of infinite recall. I guess we can use this and use identify as much as we want. We're not gonna use this that much though. Well, 3 of them remaining. Okay. Ignis has iron ore. I don't think we need this. Falfram Gaze has some quest items, but yeah, Grimoire of Pestilential Thought. Again, we probably not gonna pursue this quest further. I don't even remember where we got this though. Where did we get this Grimoire from? I have such terrible memory. I think it was somewhere in the catacombs, maybe. It had to do with Mantuk. I think Mantuk is the one who dropped this item, right? Right? I think so. I don't know. We could sell this off, get a bunch of gold. We have enough gold now for buying some of those exotic items. But we'll keep the gold for now because I don't know what to get.
Yes.
Maybe in a very pressing situation when
Very
we are
well.
like when we feel like our combat advantage is like very low, maybe we'll get some of these items. Okay, we can sell off all the Priba are useless for us because we don't have a fighter amongst us. Spring Frost, Hard Charm. Yeah, 6 Hard Charm. Cockroach Charm. All of these were sellable earlier. And the Grimoire, I don't know, we'll hold on to this for a bit more. But later when we want some commons, we can just sell this off. Okay, anyone else wants to accept some items? Some questions. Buy some weapons. Interested in spells. Okay, spells is what he buys and sells. The thing is, right? We can't like we can use these spells to we can like learn teach Dakon these spells. I ask him to read them, but we can't fill his slots though. That's the thing. He has all of his normal spells, right? So I feel like if we want just do DPS, we can just use this Rain of Anger here. Oh, here we have 2 more slots, so maybe it's worth it to learn some level 2 spells. Okay, maybe it's worth it. We'll do it later. Oh, not later. I guess we'll just do it right now. Female shopper. You see an undermarked woman. She appears to be nothing more than another customer at the market. Did we? Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure if we clicked on her. I guess we did click on her accidentally. I didn't notice. Greetings. She turns at your greetings. Yes. Okay, I did click on you. Sorry. Uh, sorry. Never mind. Let's learn some spells for Dakon.
In enduring, grow strong.
Scroll of Friends. I don't think Dakon needs to learn this though. Identity? No. Chromatic Orb. These are all level 1 spells. God damn it. I guess he can learn Pacify maybe. But the rest of these spells, you already have your stuff built up back on. So I don't know. Yeah, I'd rather have like all the variety from his spells other than the spells that nameless one can cast anyway. Chromatic Orb, Scroll of Friends, Scroll of Identity. Maybe Chromatic Orb. I don't know. But it's just same, right? I guess it's Yeah, its power increases with our level. So I guess that's useful. Okay, I guess that's it. Maybe we'll sell off these two items. I don't know. It's not even worth, like, it's not even, doesn't even get us some good money. It's like, yeah, it's 80 and 80. It just frees up the inventory space. That's it.
Your will be done.
Okay, I think that's it. And what other quest did we have to finish? So we managed to unlock that code, like use that code, that legacy code, and also we managed to uh, define the portal and also the key. So maybe in the next episode we'll try to go into the portal and pursue Ravel. And seems like we'll be leaving Sigil for a long while, so that'll be a bigger adventure. Maybe we should rest before that. Where should we rest? I think we can rest in, I don't know if we can rest in Foundry. We are a Godsman, right? So there should be a way to rest in the inside the Foundry, I think. Talking to Keldor, he can heal us, he can sell us items, and what else?
Done.
He can also, I need a place to rest. Great. Let's look at the spells that we have equipped. Oh wow, look at how many spells we have. Seeking Flames. We don't need fronts. Scripture of Steel. Submerge the Will is nice, I think. Magic Missile, Chromatic Orb. Chromatic Orb might be really powerful because it scales with level, right? I think that's what this means. None of the other spells do that, right? Wilker's Eye is like a debuff. Shield is... It bestows armor class 3 against all attacks and +1 to all saving throws for 25 seconds. This could be useful. Maybe we'll use this DPS spell though. Blood Bridge, Swamp Curse, Adder's Kiss, Infernal Orb, Weakness Tower, Power of One, Infernal Ignis, Ice Knife, Horror. Maybe Horror. Vampiric Touch, Ball Lightning. Okay, I think that's it for now. Anything else anyone wants to learn? Speak with Dead. Flame Walk. Prayer. This spell aids allies and harms your foes. It grants a +1 attack damage, saving those who are friendly, -1. So this is an AoE. Oh, we already have Prayer equipped. Cold Lightning, Flame Walk, Remove Curse, Speak with Death. Maybe Flame Walk for fire resistance. And this is Cure Serious Wounds. This spell heals any serious wounds a target might have. Restores 17 hit points to target creature. This creature's hit points cannot exceed maximum hit points. It isn't that powerful for like a level 4 spell though. Okay, I think with that we'll rest and noble rent rest done. So we should have all the skills learned now. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll call today and we'll open the portal next episode.